It's Tomb Raider Tuesday, lovelies! Last week, we put the 1996 original classic back in its sarcophagus with naught but a shred of health, a wing, a prayer, and some liberal Uzi abuse. So welcome to the first episode of Tomb Raider Unfinished Business, or, if you live in North America, Tomb Raider Shadow of the Cat, which came out exclusively for the PC in 1998 as part of Tomb Raider Gold, a re-release of the original game that closely tailed the appearance of the direct sequel, Tomb Raider 2. Fuck me, did you see that? Did you? He sat right underneath me as I was falling and ripped a chunk out of me before I even hit the water. Caught me in his mouth like a bloody treat. That has literally never happened before. What the fuck? Every day, waiting under that trapdoor. She's coming back. She'll be back one day, and then she'll pay for shotgunning all my friends to death. The other crocodiles are just like, Terrence, let it go, man. Let's just bury our dead and move on. Please, come out from under the trapdoor. We're worried about you. But Terrence knew. Terrence never stopped believing. He stoked the hatred in his heart and floated like a vengeance-parched log under the trapdoor, waiting for her to return to Egypt. Return to Egypt. I knew you couldn't resist the treasure. Big Bond style title song sung by Shirley Bassey. Nobody less will do. You will know my edicts. I'll devour you at my leisure. Somewhere beyond the sands, you approach with hungry hands. And when you swim down for that medipack, I'll attack. Return to Egypt. From my side, my brothers, she ripped, but we'll see how well she backflips without her legs. So anyway, what in the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, Tomb Raider Gold actually came out after Tomb Raider 2, the direct sequel to this game, so I guess if we're playing through this series chronologically, we should be playing the second game before these, but fuck it. Fuck you. I care not for your sequential restraints. Your horometrical bullshit. You know what? I might play Angel of Darkness after this. Flaming petrol piss on your expectations. I might play a mobile port. I might just play the first one again. I'm feeling all kinds of anarchic. I got me a case of the motherfucking nasties tonight, lovelies. And it's just as well, really, because the 4 stages that make up Unfinished Business are a fair degree more brutal than anything you'll find in the game that spawned them. So, here we are in Return to Egypt, the first part of the first mini-campaign, Shadow of the Cat. And the keen-eyed among you may notice a striking similarity to a certain stage that we shot, jumped and plundered our way through mere weeks ago. Yes, indeed, the opening setting for this level is actually the partially submerged city of Kharmoon. The official backstory on these 2 Egyptian stages is that months after the events of the original Tomb Raider, Lara returns to Kharmoon so that she may further study the large bejeweled cat she found there. And what you can't see here is me attempting to make heavy inverted commas around the word study, as if to suggest that the term study is merely a byword for what we all know Lara wants to do, which is tie a fucking rope around its feet and drag it back home to Croft Manor so that she's got something priceless and stolen to hang her coats on. Sorry to have to spell that out for you, but inverted commas don't translate well to non-camera based commentary. Not that they do much better on camera, obviously, because I'm using my hands to play the game, so I'd have to, I don't know, use my eyebrows or something. So, alright, here we go. Lara returns to Kharmoon so that she may more devotedly study. Right there, you imagine my eyebrows contorting freakishly around my face like they're squaring off at a primordial mating dance. Study the cat statue without the pressing issue of having to stop an Atlantean demigod from using an ancient super weapon to play mad scientist in a long-lost island pyramid layer being a looming problem. But when she gets there, my word, Carmoon has flooded. How very fortunate, because now there's many a previously unreachable passageway, nook and cranny that is open to her intrusive, parasitical probing. Ha ha ha! Fuck you, ancient cultures and animals that thought they had escaped extermination on my first visit. Fuck you! On the whole, out of the two, Shadow of the Cat is definitely the better campaign. And this is a really great stage, but the next one, Temple of the Cat, is really just one of my favourite Tomb Raider levels ever. The Unfinished Business campaign is okay. It definitely has a moment going for it here or there, but it feels like it's just made up of deleted scraps from the original Atlantis levels, whereas these Egyptian ones are just so well plotted and designed. Like, one of my favourite things about Return to Egypt is that everything is just where you left it when you ran through the last time. The block's still pulled out from in front of the Sphinx. The boulder's still at the bottom of the slope. Just has some very cool attention to detail running through the whole stage, but one thing you will notice as we go through these extra stages is that quite a lot of the challenge comes from combat rather than puzzles. It's usually fairly obvious where you should be going, but you will get a lot of instances where panthers or crocodiles or those motherfucking cat mummies will just bomb rush you in enclosed spaces with only very narrow, very exact escape routes open to you. So you'll usually wind up resorting to the shotgun early just to get them out of your face. Exactly like I'm gonna do right here. As soon as you get past the midpoint of this room, a panther just fucking materializes behind you like it's dropped out of some kind of lunatic panther dimension, so you see, it pays to know all this ahead of time, of course. I say that these levels are awesome, and they really are, but they can be incredibly frustrating if you're playing the first time through, because the first thing you generally know about that panther is when he lumps you from behind and sends you down into the spike pit below. The alternative strategy here is to hop to the pillar and pop away at it with your pistols while it runs up and down the corridor, but I hate doing that shit for the exact reason that you saw when those three panthers turned up above the cat statue back there. Standing there for 5 minutes waiting to pop a shot off at the fucking thing while it does a tour of the entire room just sends me to sleep, man. Just makes me want to take a long old motherfucking nap. It's not so bad if you got the Uzis or the Magnums, but these are endgame tier enemies that you're trying to kill with the firearm equivalent of a damp potato. Because Lara didn't bother bringing none of the arsenal she accumulated in the first game along with her. You stupid idiot! In storyline terms, I like to think of it like, mostly, Lara gets away with smuggling her weapons into various countries she visits through a combination of her natural charms and bribes, but every now and again, she runs into an overzealous border guard. Like, her bag goes through the scanner and the system just has a meltdown like a robot falling off a cliff. Beep, 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 beep. Bring it back to the side, please, miss. Open it up. What is this? What in the fuck is this? Lara Croft? Oh, that's my umbrella. No, it's not your fucking umbrella, Llama Croft. It's an Ithaca 37 pump-action riot gun. Why the fuck are you bringing this to my country? What the fuck is this? What have you bought 700 rounds of ammunition for your umbrella? What in the fuck? I'm going to do a spot of hunting while I'm here. I've secured the proper permits from the government. What the shit are you trying to hunt, bitch? The moon? You want to overthrow the Pakistan government? Ladder crust? There is nothing else in your bags. There is no clothes, no toiletry, no book, no Sudoku to while away long hours on plane. Nothing. There is just thousands and thousands of bullets and guns and a compass. Why even bring this compass? Well, in case I get lost, of course, silly. What in the fly? If you get lost, you just follow trail of fucking bodies back to the entrance, you genocidal psycho bitch! Do you realise that every single spike we've seen throughout the original game, and every single spike we are going to see throughout Unfinished Business, is covered in blood? Every single one. I mean, Jesus Christ, I understand falling on 2 or 3 of them, but the ones back there lodged right under the rock wall, like, there is no way you could fall on those if you tried. You'd have to squeeze between the wall and the spike and just fucking force yourself on top of it. I like to think those ones were from previous adventurers with severe OCD that saw they were the only clean spikes and sacrificed their lives for thematic order. May we never forget such brave heroes. May they endure in our hearts. Here's a nice surprise coming up. Here's a nice little treat. You remember how everything was just black and spooky past a certain draw distance in the original game? Well, take a look at this. An actual sky texture. Woohoo! You get a better look at it in a second when I climb up top. And granted, it's very basic, but man, what a difference it makes. Here we go. Oh man, that's lovely. That really gives you a nice sense of scale, don't it? Yeah, I can't believe I'm losing my shit over a bunch of white pixels on a black background either, but here we are. It's the little things, lovelies. I generally don't evolve in my opinions or reactions to things, so, like, the feeling I got the first time I saw the T-Rex in the Lost Valley still hasn't deteriorated whatsoever for me. And I remember playing this stage for the first time when I was very young and thinking, holy shit! Tomb Raider has a sky! Because I played this before I played Tomb Raider 2. I didn't have a lot of money when I was little, and one of the nicest things about all the Tomb Raider Gold bonus levels was that they were free if you owned the original game already. You could just download them from IDOS's website, so I did that, spunked a whole weekend on them, bunked off school for 2 days to play them again, and man, when I did get Tomb Raider 2, it was just after the summer holidays had ended, and I could not have been less interested in a curriculum-based education at that point. Alright, we gotta grab our first key just through here. This is basically a wildlife combat arena. Whoa, shit, fuck a dog, mercy me, Christ alive. Skidded off a corner there. As you'll see in this helpful cinematic shot, where we need to use it is a mere 40 feet above us. Easy jump, easy peasy. But we'll be sporting and climb up there instead. Oh come on, don't hide in the cave. I've got lots of things to kill today and you're pissing my schedule up the bloody wall. Your turn. Yeah, them some solid tactics, Panther. That's some fine strafing. Man, how did we deal with that tactical genius? Oh, fuck lumps. Why did I aim for that? Oh, it's alright, there's some ammo to get down here anyway. Hello, boys! Now, you see there, one slightly irritating thing that Unfinished Business does quite prolifically is that it spot spawns enemies on you. And what I mean by that is that they just don't exist in the level until you either pick something up or walk over a certain spot. Now, 9 times out of 10, that works out fine, and I mean, it's only really aggravating if you're going for a 100% run, I guess, but for example, one of those crocodiles actually comes out of the wall in the far corner of the room, and sometimes he'll get stuck there, between realms, with just his head and one of his legs spazzing about in the ground. You can't aim at him or lock onto him, so you got to start the whole damn thing again. Return to Egypt. I don't fucking believe it. That crocodile's stuck in the bastard wall again. No danger of that with these scaly goons. There's a whole nest of them here, but unfortunately for them, they happen to be living in the same room as some magnum ammo and a medipack, which has essentially signed their own death warrant for them. Eviction time, you walking handbags. What's your favourite killer crocodile movie? Or alligator? I'll allow alligators. I'm not a monster. I would have to say... Alright. It's a tie between Alligator, directed by Louis Teague, which is deathly boring for most of the runtime, but features one of the greatest endgames of crocodile / alligator carnage that you will ever see, or Dark Age, which was a very early role for John Jarratt, who plays that outback lunatic from the Wolf Creek movies. Did you ever see Wolf Creek 2? I caught it at the London Fright Fest one year, and I've got to tell you, it's far more entertaining than it has any right to be for a movie called Wolf Creek 2. John Jarratt was actually in Rogue as well, which was another decent Australian crocodile horror with Rada Mitchell. I thought she dropped off the face of the earth, Rada Mitchell. Couldn't watch 5 horror movies in a row without seeing her in one of them back in the day. Silent Hill, Pitch Black, Visitors, Evidence, The Crazies, the other somehow worse Silent Hill movie, but turns out she just acts in stuff I'll never watch now. What's the matter, Mitchell? Too good for horror? You ungrateful bitch. They all go that way, don't they? Horror gives them their big break, and then it's off to do boring 3-hour Oscar bait biopics or dramas about living in apartments with first world problems. They all do it. Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, they were both in the 4th Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and now he's all, alright, man, that movie don't exist, you hear me? And if you bring it up and there's no witnesses around, he'll stab you in the lung and leave you to die. One less of you now, alright. Charlize Theron, don't think I don't remember you being in Children of the Corn 3, woman. Don't think I've forgotten Urban Harvest. Although, you made a Mad Max movie, so I forgive you, I guess. You've redressed the balance. And don't try and tell me that Prometheus was a horror movie. I will beat you with hammers. It was a horror ball movie, I'll give you that. You think it's just the older actors and actresses that it affects, but no. Chloe Grace Moretz, first ever role? That shitty Amityville horror remake with Ryan Reynolds, and god damn it. Who was his wife in that? Fuck. It was some Australian actress. And now the only two I can think of are Rada fucking Mitchell and Rose Byrne. Melissa George. That was it, Melissa George. Don't get me wrong. There has never been a good Amityville horror movie. And I respect the fact that, for once, Hollywood attempted to remake a bad film rather than a good one. But what's the deal, Moretz? Think you can turn your back on horror? Think you just walk away, little girl? I swear to God, first one of you to mention the Carrie remake gets a hammer in the mouth. I have so many hammers, one for every genre of people that piss me off. These hammers are us, up in this motherfucker. Amy Adams, Zack Snyder's Lois Lane. You're just America's sweetheart, aren't you? You just red hair, apple pie, and the Muppets all over. But what if people knew you were in Psycho Beach Party? Or Cruel Intentions 2? Not a horror movie, but my goodness. Of all the movies that didn't need a number after their titles. Well, you've had the Crocodile House, so this stage now officially welcomes you to the Panther Enclosure. There's 4 charging around down here, but one of them's a dead, scary ghost panther. You'll see him in just a moment. I'm probably overusing the shotgun a bit here, but you only live once, don't you? Another one hiding back here. Come out, come out. Where the fuck? Ah! You tricked me! You obsidian charlatan. And now you've taken more than 2 point-blank shotgun blasts to kill. You're starting to get on my tits a bit, young man. Has to be said, you are quite the rider of the tits. But no more. No more. Ahahaha. Alright, let's go ghost hunting. We're gonna use a shotgun. Ghost hates shotguns. Die again, ghost! Die! Bastard! Oh, the camera fucked up. You didn't get to see the transformation properly. It's dead spooky, I swear. Supposedly a jump scare. There's just a statue of a cat and then suddenly, it's a live panther. The panic it commands is astonishing. We've missed out there, lovelies. I'm mad at you, Tomb Raider. I'm not speaking to you for a while now. Do you find the idea of ghost animals creepy? Because if somebody told me a place I was going to was like heavily haunted by people, I'd be a little on edge, but if they said, you better watch out, that place is haunted by the restless spirit of a Yorkshire Terrier, it doesn't really carry the same weight. Surely there'd be at least one T-Rex ghost. Surely at least one Triceratops died with unfinished business. Where are the dinosaur ghosts? Or is that the plot of the new Jurassic Park movie? Please don't be. Now, don't get ghost dogs confused with phantom dogs because I don't want none of them. There are tons of stories of them in England and the United Kingdom, and they're generally like huge and black, like massively overgrown German shepherds, but the most famous one is Black Shuck, who supposedly haunts the East Anglian countryside. He's supposed to have one eye with a howl that can freeze your blood, and clapping eyes on him means that you'll die before the end of the year. His most notorious appearance was in the 1500s at the village of Blithburgh in Suffolk, where he burst through the doors of the Holy Trinity Church in the middle of a thunderstorm and charged past the congregation, killing 2 people and somehow made the church steeple collapse in on itself. There are scorch marks on the door of the church that you can see to this day, which the dog fiend is said to have left as he ran back out. That's how Black Shuck rolled. In, out, no fucking about. He apparently had quite the schedule to get through that day because on the same afternoon, he made his way down to St Mary's Church in Bungay and killed another 2 people who were praying by the altar. Now, curiously, a couple of years ago, archaeologists were investigating another religious site in Suffolk, the ruins of St Mary's Abbey, or Leiston Abbey, when they unearthed the bones of a ludicrously huge dog that would have stood up at 7 feet tall and weighed at least 200 pounds, buried away in a nameless shallow grave surrounded by pieces of mysterious pottery. And it all appeared to date way back to when Black Shuck was at the height of his church-destroying, Christian-devouring reign, so who the fuck knows? Even a hardened skeptic like me has to raise an eyebrow at a mythical beast with at least some kind of physical evidence to its name. To be honest though, we seem to have more of a giant cat problem in England than we do dogs. Lynxes, pumas, ocelots, leopards. We had the beast of Bodmin, the beast of Exmoor. These bloody giant exotic cats just seem to materialise in the middle of the countryside once every decade or so. We sent the Royal Marines in to deal with the beast of Exmoor. It apparently killed about 80 sheep, so the Ministry of Agriculture got them to set up shop in the national park. They couldn't find it, although a couple of them said they caught glimpses of it, but didn't want to shoot in case the sniper rounds went through it and hit somebody else. Well, what the fuck are you using them for then, you idiots? I mean, God bless the Royal Marines. Pride of Britain. Yes. Anyway, nobody managed to catch it, and it allegedly racked up around 200 livestock kills before something bad happened to it. Probably met the business end of a lorry. Fuck off, you green scumbag! Last stretch now. The final areas out here. Whoa, Scheiße! Look at that. Look at that bit of skill. Cool as you like, mate. Cool as you bloody like. And you? You're not having any? We're in casual mode now, ladies and gentlemen. We're rolling through this now. The frame rate absolutely dies out here on this third-party graphics engine, and I do apologise for that. We won't have to worry about it from the second game onwards. It's just the first one that's a pain in the arse to get running properly without it. Where are you going? Nowhere! Nobody escapes Lara Croft. I'm sending my clean-up crew to pick you up later. sending my taxidermist. You're all coming home with me to be rugs and sofas. I'll hang Natler in the living room. It's a shame that giant legless mutant blew up too. Could have hollowed him out and had him as somewhere to keep my shoes. You ever seen that Facebook group of taxidermy gone wrong? There's some amazing creations on there, let me tell you. Most of them look like how animals appear to you when you're on mushrooms. I can say that from experience. Saying that, there is some very suspect taxidermy jobs going on in the Natural History Museum in London. There's a lynx, and those of you who have been will know what I'm talking about here. There's a lynx that looks just like somebody's tripped over it, fell on its head, and the taxidermist was just like, it'll be fine. Who even knows what a lynx looks like in this country anyway? Don't worry about it. And the polar bear there, I mean, the polar bear is largely alright, but they've given it this desperate look in its eyes. It gets me every time. Like it's been caught doing something it shouldn't be. Oh, that bear cracks me up, man. I look like a lunatic browsing the mammal section at that museum. I just burst out fucking laughing all the time. Fuck off, you scaly bastard! God, I'm not doing too well at Tomb Raider lately, am I? That's the 3rd level in a row we've squeaked by of a scrap of health now. And we still got 2 mummies and a panther to fight yet, so could all still end in tears. There we go. Now this is a cheeky little hidden area up here, because it's hidden right behind the grid that finishes the level. It's not even a secret. This mummy's like a Looney Tunes character that runs over a cliff and hangs in the air until he remembers the rules of gravity. Uh-oh. Yeah. He's actually alive running around down there, but there's absolutely no way to target or kill him, so yeah. You need to step around 4 or 5 wooden planks in, and then you'll just about manage to hook yourself around the corner here and avoid the slope. Any closer to the hole and you'll automatically end the level. You see the panther there completely ruining the perspective illusion of the pyramid? Now, there's a whole rear section of desert that it looks like you can run around on here. This will give you a quick look. You see the block over there? Now, you might be tempted to go hopping over that way and see what's up, but it's a dirty trick. All the sand over that way is actually burning hot, and it'll set you on fire if you step on it, so don't. And I mean, we're lucky we came here in the daytime, aren't we? If it's hot enough out here at night to make you spontaneously combust, think about what's gonna happen to you when dawn breaks. It'd be like trying to tomb raid the fucking sun. God fucking damn it, pay attention! I'll play this when I'm actually awake next week, I swear. These 65-hour weeks are killing me. That and all the heroin. But you know, we all have our vices, don't we? One more. These are some long goddamn levels. What's your most grueling, overly long stage that you've played in a game? I'm not going to put this at the top of the list or anything, but every time I play the original Streets of Rage, and I get to that fucking boat stage, I want to kill myself. That boat goes on forever. It is easily larger than about 3 city blocks. It's the longest fucking boat in the world. And it's really narrow too. Like about 10 feet wide and 3 miles long. So it's essentially a giant canoe rather than a ship. Alrighty, that is us just about done for this week now, lovelies. Just got to get back over the bridge and we're home free. And I can go and get some sleep because it's like 1:30 in the morning. Ta-da! All the kills, all the pickups, all the secrets, and an invitation into the Temple of the Cat, which we will be sure to take up next week. See you then.
prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Ready.